Jake and I had been rivals for years. Now we were reluctant allies. In my first life, on my wedding day, my fiancée, Emily, brainwashed Jake into helping her run off with another man. I was so angry I dropped dead on the spot. In my second life, I exposed Emily's cheating to Jake. He flew into a rage, but Emily panicked when confronted and ended up killing us both. In my third life, Jake found me with his memories intact. We stared at each other, pushing the blame back and forth. "She's your girlfriend." "No, she's not my girlfriend anymore. She's yours." This time around, Jake and I silently agreed to stay far away from Emily and cherish our lives. 2 weeks later, Emily suddenly tracked us down and begged for forgiveness on her knees. I stroked my chin thoughtfully. Am I the villain here? Is that loser Chad actually the main character? Jake was shocked. Him? The main character? I couldn't even be the side chick, and he gets to be the protagonist as the side dude? He's dumb as a box of rocks. Jake was my sworn enemy. We'd fought our whole lives, only to end up in the gutter. In the first life, I beat Jake to proposing to Emily by 0.01 seconds. She said yes. Jake, seeing this, immediately offered to help plan the wedding and even buy her trousseau. He swore he'd kill me himself if I ever mistreated Emily. I was cursing up a storm in my head. Simp's gonna simp. You always end up with nothing. But my joy was short-lived. On the wedding day, Emily brainwashed Jake. "Actually, I'm in love with someone else. Can you help me run away? I really don't want to marry him." Jake was stunned, but agreed. And so the wedding ended in chaos as everyone shouted the bride ran off with another man. Afterwards, Jake taunted me. "She doesn't love you. She loves me." What an idiot. I was so angry I had a heart attack on the spot. In my second life, I learned from my past mistakes. I gathered evidence of Emily cheating. Holy crap, I was growing a forest on my head. The green of jealousy was blinding. Then I found Jake and exposed Emily's infidelity. The evidence was damning. Jake flew into a rage and charged to Emily's door with a knife. Emily denied everything. When confronted with proof, she snapped and went crazy. "You investigated me?" Jake, the idiot, actually asked, "Why did you cheat on me?" For crying out loud. "You have a knife. Just stab her already. Why are you even asking?" I couldn't watch anymore. I grabbed Jake's collar and pulled him away. "Let's go. You're acting insane." Later, Emily secretly poisoned us, sabotaged our car. We barely escaped death multiple times. Finally overwhelmed, we died again. I held my head and laughed bitterly, remembering my 2 past lives. Wait a minute, sis. Your descent into evil makes no sense. Shouldn't you be the one who dies? I opened my eyes again and looked around. Well, reborn again. This was my third life. I wanted some peace and quiet, so I avoided both stairs and elevators. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. It was Jake. When Jake saw me, he wasn't like before. Those pitch-black pupils hid murderous intent. He seemed about to speak, but hesitated. Seeing his expression, a bold idea came to me. I blinked rapidly. "Did you also get reborn?" "Good boy. Might as well be direct about it." Jake's eyes shook, his body trembled, and he pointed at me. "You also?" We stared at each other, instantly understanding. Thinking of Emily's killing spree in the last life, Jake and I were both scared. Jake quickly distanced himself from me, breaking ties again. He stepped back and covered his mouth. "She's your girlfriend." I was extremely agitated. "She's not my girlfriend. She's yours." After a few rounds of this, I rolled my eyes in exasperation, seeing the truth. We're in the same boat here. No point arguing over her. Jake probably remembered Emily's actions, and his mouth twitched. The next second, he bowed to me with clasped hands. "Big bro." My eyes grew moist, and I embraced him. "Little bro." But there was one thing I didn't mention. After all, Emily's successes in the past 2 lives were largely due to Jake's help. I sighed. Our prospects were grim. So why was Emily so determined to kill us in the second life? There must be some conspiracy. At that moment, Jake's intelligence hit rock bottom, and his expression grew serious. "Big bro, what should we do now?" I shrugged. "Eat, drink, and be merry. Don't take anything to heart. What's meant to be will be. This time, she dies first." My calmness highlighted how anxious Jake was. He couldn't help but mutter, "If we do nothing, will she really leave us alone this life?" I sighed helplessly. "That's what I thought in my past 2 lives too, little bro. You think you can escape? At this, Jake fell silent. Come to think of it, if Emily had memories of her past life like us, we'd be sending ourselves to slaughter if we tipped her off. Remembering Jake's behavior of being sold out and still helping count the money in the past two lives, I repeatedly warned him. If you feel bad and try to make amends, don't bring those regrets to your grave. If worst comes to worst, I'll burn some extra offerings for you each year. Fair point, but that's a bit harsh. And so Jake and I silently agreed to stay far away from Emily and cherish our lives. I broke up with Emily and cut off all contact. Jake blocked Emily and deleted everything related to her. We bought plane tickets overnight and went on a shared vacation, achieving an unprecedented harmony. During this time, all was calm and peaceful, until 2 weeks later when we got off the plane and arrived at my doorstep. At that moment, a woman in a white chiffon dress emerged from the shadows. Her face was beautiful, her skin like polished jade, truly a stunning beauty. But there were faint dark circles under her eyes, showing she hadn't been sleeping well. Especially when she saw us, she lowered her eyes, suppressing a flash of resentment. TSK, isn't this Emily Carter, the one who killed me in 2 lifetimes? We're all old acquaintances now. Looks like she's been searching for us for a long time. I suppressed the urge to slit her throat right there and smiled insincerely at her. Miss Carter, what are you doing here? Jake was like an ant on a hot pan. If I hadn't blocked him, he would have given us away already. This useless guy. His mental fortitude is too weak. Emily glanced at us both, confusion in her heart, feigning puzzlement. When did you two become such good friends? I laughed coldly. Good thing I had a backup plan. I pulled out some photos. Miss Carter, take a look at these. They showed her being intimate with Chad, our junior. Emily was shocked, speechless. Her lips parted, but only a faint sound came out. You, of course. Jake was even more surprised that I had evidence. He gave them to me? Miss Carter, please explain. I pointed at Jake, successfully shifting the blame. Jake was dumbfounded. Cat face emoji. The tables have turned. It's my turn to screw you over now. Emily's eyes filled with tears, looking at me like she could squeeze out water. Jake, the photos are real, but he's my brother. You have to believe me. I really love you. My feelings are true. Heaven knows. She fell to her knees with a thud, doing something I never expected. It was indeed effective. Jake was like he'd been drugged, wanting to protect her like a mother hen. Don't kneel anymore. Get up. I was suspicious, not missing Emily's look of determination. But I wasn't falling for this act. Seeing the situation, Emily refused to get up. She gritted her teeth and dropped a bombshell. I'm pregnant, she emphasized pointedly. It's yours. I laughed angrily. Talk about thick-skinned. Truly shameless beyond belief. Emily usually acted like an innocent flower around me, getting shy just from holding hands. How could she possibly be pregnant? Jake's body shook as he half covered his head. This guy was laughing so hard on the side that he was getting stomach cramps. I calmed myself, gradually coming to terms with things. In our 2 years together, I gave Emily money and love. I even found caregivers to look after Emily's grumpy grandma and black-hearted mom, taking good care of them. If not for my 2 past lives, at this point in time, I would have already introduced Emily to my parents and be preparing to propose. All kinds of chills and nausea overwhelmed me like a tidal wave, along with any sympathy I had left for Emily. I helped Emily up. Since you're pregnant, you should rest well. I believe you. Emily, I'll always love you. Since he's your brother, that makes him my brother too. I spoke with utter sincerity. Emily was deeply moved, and I took the opportunity while she wasn't paying attention to slip a special recording device into her pocket. You're heartless. I'm ruthless. Did you really think I was that big of an idiot? Seems fair. Emily, tomorrow I'll go to your family to propose. Wait for me. I spoke firmly. As expected, under my serious attitude, Emily believed me completely. After all, I had loved her so passionately before. Who would believe I didn't love her anymore? After Emily left, Jake finally reacted, stunned. You just let her go like that? I spread my hands. This woman isn't easy to deal with. If you're not satisfied, let's go after her. We can all die together. After all, you've already gotten brainwashed by her and gotten me killed once. Might as well give up. Jake was puzzled when he heard first life. What's that about? At this point, there was no need to hide things, but I could still hold some back. I spoke frankly. By my count, I've been reborn twice, so this is my third time. But you've only been reborn once, so you have no idea how miserable you were in the first two lives. Then I told him about the past two lives, emphasizing how he was tricked by Emily, how he was swindled until he didn't even have underwear left. I even consoled him a bit, afraid he might do something rash. Don't do anything stupid. A lifetime passes quickly. Jake was stunned for a moment, then retorted, "You died from my anger but still got to live two more lives? How's that fair?" I overestimated him. Suddenly, Jake changed the subject. "But I'm also curious. Why do I feel a bit helpless around her? My heart starts racing." Speaking of this, I suddenly remembered. Jake did act strangely around Emily. Weird as hell. After this incident, Jake and I started pondering what exactly was off. I couldn't figure it out, so I calmly opened the device to hear what Emily had to say. After a while, Emily's voice came through. She spoke urgently. System, System, are you there?" The fleeting words made my eyes flash. Holy crap, is Emily really that lucky? Jake scratched his head, confused. "What system?" I smiled. "It's nothing. Go play by yourself." From start to finish, the recording only had Emily talking. I also deduced the truth from the subtle details. It turns out Emily isn't from this world. She carries a system, and as for her mission, it definitely involves us. The specifics are unknown, her motives unclear. Fortunately, Emily didn't suspect us at all. Otherwise, we'd have to die again. I was worried sick, while Jake was still grinning widely. "Hey, big bro, does this mean I'm the protagonist?" "Huh, and little bro, you're the protagonist. Your business has barely started, and you're not even 30 before you kick the bucket." Jake was about to speak when Emily's words froze us both for 2 minutes. "What? System, are you reliable at all? You gave the goodwill points to that idiot Jake Grant? That was my only goodwill score." After hearing this, I burst out laughing, because Jake Grant is my rival, that big idiot. Jake's face was blacker than the bottom of a pot. I laughed until I lost my voice. Now the truth was clear. Everything made sense. Laugh all you want. If I lose control around Emily, your fate will be even worse. Damn, he's right. Since that's the case, I prepared to go all out. Jake saw my eyes turn bloodshot, faintly revealing excitement. "Hey, don't rush. I can control myself." I looked at him suspiciously. "Really? If I think of her, I'll slap my mouth, slap my face. If that's not enough, I'll punch myself in the nuts." Only after Jake's repeated assurances did I feel slightly reassured. The next day, I went to investigate Chad's background. Chad Winchester is the illegitimate son of a wealthy family. He has a fiancée, with the engagement set for next month. Although Chad's birth was disgraceful, he's intelligent and accomplished, a smiling tiger to outsiders, but actually very scheming. He's marrying the daughter of a tycoon. Barring accidents, he'll have a perfect life. I sneered in my heart. Grass is greener on the other side. What a scumbag. I had Jake follow him for a few days. During that time, he caught Chad meeting Emily privately in the morning, being lovey-dovey with his fiancée in the afternoon, and at night, getting intimate with his company's secretary, their saliva forming strings. A true master of time management playing the field, I had Jake buy several burner phones to send harassing texts to Chad. Chad didn't last a few days before having someone investigate. Unfortunately, he couldn't find anything. Besides that, Jake sent flowers to Chad's fiancée. The key was the hotel key card inside, along with the note. "Waiting for you, hubby moi." Over time, Chad's fiancée was fine, but Chad went crazy. He ranted threats online. "I don't care who you are. If you dare ruin my relationship with my fiancée, we'll settle this in court." Ha, big talk. I won't say anything until my lawyer arrives. That day, I prepared an engagement gift to personally deliver to Emily. While others proposed for commitment, I'm here for a death commitment. At the dinner table, as I ate with Emily's parents, she looked dispirited, constantly glancing at her phone. I pretended not to notice. After a few rounds of drinks, Emily's parents started chatting with me. "Jake, dear, we've spoiled Emily's temperament. Please be understanding. We don't ask for her to be rich and successful, just to find someone who truly cares for her long term." I nodded in agreement. "Don't worry, I'll be good to Emily. I absolutely won't do anything to hurt her." Her parents happily agreed. The main event was about to begin. Her grandma suddenly piped up. "By the way, Jake, have you decided on the bride price for our Emily?" Her dad frowned and interrupted. "Enough. Jake is so outstanding. Why talk about bride price?" In my first life, her family sang this duet to swindle several million and a house from me. I didn't respond for a while. Her dad was visibly anxious. "Jake, we only have one daughter. My daughter is beautiful and capable. I worked hard to raise her. It wasn't easy." Her dad kept signaling Emily with his eyes. Emily got the message and gazed at me tenderly. I was dumbfounded. Such obvious calculation. How was I so blind in my first life? I took a sip of water, suppressing the urge to curse. "Father-in-law," I discussed with my parents. "My family is willing to give 2 million, with property calculated separately." "How's that?" Emily turned pale with shock. Clatter. Her dad was so thrilled the chopsticks fell from his hand onto the table. Her grandma in the wheelchair almost stood up. In the end, Emily had to step in to defuse the situation. "Jake, did you really mean what you just said?" "Of course I meant it." For this, I even prepared a grand wedding. Her parents were beaming with joy, praising me endlessly. Gotta act the part completely. I grabbed Emily's hand, gazing at her lovingly and tenderly. Emily is so sweet and obedient. We've been together so long, and we'll be family soon. What's wrong with giving a bit more? Her mom was grinning from ear to ear. Jake is so thoughtful. I knew marrying Jake would be Emily's good fortune. The whole family crowded around praising me. By now, I felt nothing. Money talks. I gave quickly and generously. How could they not be happy? Besides, Emily's parents are a bottomless pit. At their age, they still want a second and third child. Marrying off a daughter is like selling her. Whoever can pay gets on board. All the money goes to the sons. I'm giving 2 million plus property. Of course they're eager to curry favor with me. A long-term ATM isn't something just anyone can have. "Don't worry, father and mother-in-law. I prepared a generous gift today." I looked at Emily with utter sincerity. "Emily, we can't skimp on our wedding either. Phoenix crown, embroidered dress, a grand procession. I'll give you it all. Afterwards, I'll add your name to my assets. I promise to only be good to you." I took out a massive diamond ring and put it on Emily. This thing was bought on Wish, worthless. Emily was so shocked her hands and feet went numb. She hesitated for a few seconds, then threw herself into my arms. "Jake, you're so good to me. I'm willing to marry you." I smiled. After all, I just said it casually, and they just believed it casually. The whole family was dazed by the successive surprises, saying many nice things I didn't hear in my first life. I have to say, Emily's parents' eloquence. They should really be street performers. The more I praised her, the harder and more painfully she'll fall. In the end, it got out of hand and couldn't be stopped. I want to see if Emily can still save herself. After dinner, Emily took the initiative to stay with me for the first time, wanting to get intimate. I laughed instead of getting angry. "You can still cook with a baby?" Emily's eyes immediately darted around. She pursed her lips and explained to me. "Jake, I was so happy I forgot about it." Maybe she also felt this excuse was weak and quickly changed the subject. "Let's go pick out some baby things in a few days." I nodded perfunctorily and left. During this time, I became increasingly sensitive, suspicious, and irritable. Emily didn't dare say anything. That photo forever stood between us, impossible to ignore. Today, Emily and I had a big fight. Emily came forward to pull me, and I almost pushed her to the ground. She clutched her belly, tears streaming down, still pretending at this point. "Jake, calm down. I'm in so much pain. Can you come check on me?" I rubbed my brow and sighed. "Emily, we're about to get married. Wouldn't it be better for you to stay home and take care of the pregnancy? Could it be the person you truly love isn't me?" I gave her a cold look and stalked off. After that, Emily surprisingly didn't come looking for me. Because in the past, when Emily threw tantrums, I always gave in, buying gifts to coax her. She's been spoiled rotten by me. The evil in her bones can't be changed. My changes also made her reckless. I overheard her talking to the system. What's there to be afraid of? In the past, I just had to crook my finger, and they'd come running like dogs. It'll blow over in a few days. The system seemed to say something. Emily got a bit impatient. "Enough. How could he possibly change? You're overthinking it. Just wait and see." I sighed bitterly. Emily really doesn't have enough brains. My continued cold shoulder towards Emily for several days successfully angered her. She finally couldn't hold back anymore. She booked a room at a motel and arranged to meet Chad Winchester. Jake worked hard to find this out and stake it out all morning, finally catching that bastard Chad. Jake took out his phone and openly sent a message. The plan's on. Hurry and get Chad's fiancée here. After a while, Chad's fiancée arrived wearing a red dress, accompanied by a group of bodyguards, all wearing sunglasses and carrying batons. They headed straight for Emily and Chad's room. The bodyguards went up, disguised as staff. Sure enough, the door opened from inside. When she saw who it was, Sarah's expression froze. She didn't make a move, but the bodyguards beside her didn't let the two off. Without a word, they rushed in with their batons. In an instant, Emily's screams echoed throughout the room. During this time, nearby guests cautiously opened their room doors and poked their heads out to listen to the gossip. I secretly played a pre-recorded audio clip. Someone's cheating. The wife caught them red-handed. Hearing this, the crowd instantly exploded into an uproar, running out to watch the spectacle. By now, Chad was pinned to the ground by the bodyguards. Emily was in an even worse state. She only had on a bathrobe, which was almost pulled off in the scuffle, leaving her nearly exposed. Now she could only cower in the corner, shaking. I saw clearly that the two had been in the throes of passion, sparks flying. The baton struck Chad as he dodged back and forth, his screams rising and falling. Interspersed were Emily's shrieks. "Chad, just tell me. You said you'd kill her and support me. You useless coward." Emily had completely lost it, spilling all the dirty laundry like beans from a bowl. "You don't know, do you? Chad's been scheming for your family assets for a long time. Your company, your family. He's calculated it all. He wants to wipe out your entire clan." Emily cackled maniacally, utterly deranged. The crowd's looks at the scummy couple were all the same now. I gotta say, I even felt a bit bad for Sarah. This wave of familicide was something I didn't anticipate. When it comes to viciousness, it's gotta be you too. I'd seen enough and was about to leave. But Jake was hiding in the back, watching with relish, reluctant to go. I had to drag him away. After all, it was time for Emily and my grand wedding next. I arranged to meet Emily that evening. Emily didn't rush to agree, making excuses that she might be back late and asking me to wait a bit. I was understanding, saying it was no problem and reminding Emily to dress warmly in the cold weather. But the good times didn't last long. That afternoon, I opened a recording device, wanting to hear what Emily had to say. The result was truly a bombshell. Emily was very alert. Because we acted so suddenly, she couldn't prevent it. Afterwards, she thought carefully and felt it must be connected to me somehow. My back teeth were about to crack from clenching. She said, "System, quickly help me check if Jake has been reborn." At this, I was startled. So Emily was reborn too? I frowned deeply, grateful we had acted convincingly enough not to be discovered. But I never expected the bombshell Emily dropped would be so explosive. "Can't detect it? What use are you? If I kill them, can I start over again? I want to use my last chance too." I was dumbfounded. So it turns out the system is a get-out-of-jail-free card. After listening, I went to find Jake. Jake was in high spirits, about to finally be rid of Emily. I spoke gravely, shattering his daydream. "Stop fantasizing. Emily is suspicious and wants to kill us to start over." Jake was shocked. "What? Then what do we do? Run away? Probably won't work, right?" I pondered for a moment. Running wouldn't work, but there was one thing I remembered. "Don't you think there's a problem with this?" "What problem?" "I had a headache. How do I carry this useless teammate? Asking for help online? What to do?" Of course the problem is why Emily is so determined to kill us. Jake fell into thought. In the first life, Emily insisted on running away on our wedding day. By coincidence, I was angered to death by Jake and started over. In the second life, when I brought Jake to expose Emily, she also saw the wedding couldn't happen and acted to kill us. I suspect Emily's mission requires getting married. Jake was incredulous, his face full of shock. "Your brain really works. Tell me, what should we do now?" Jake sneered and said cruel words. "I want her to be unable to kill us, but wish she were dead. Death would be too easy for that bitch Emily." In the evening, Emily arrived as agreed. Everyone had gathered in the hall. Basically, I called everyone I could call. Emily's parents were secretly bragging to people. Jake is giving our family a 2 million bride price. Tomorrow, he's even transferring property to us. This good fortune isn't something just anyone can have. I smiled in response. Mother-in-law, I saw the message you sent me this afternoon. I found a postpartum care center for you. When you're pregnant, you can go straight there. Jake, your efficiency is too high. Emily's parents were overjoyed, while others looked on enviously. Soon, footsteps were heard outside. I had someone turn off the lights and draw the curtains. The moment Emily was led inside, the lights suddenly blazed on as flower petals and feathers rained down. Heart-shaped balloons surrounded us, and even wedding music was playing. I held a bouquet and gifts, approaching Emily. Honey, let's stop fighting, okay? Emily was already dumbfounded. I looked her in the eye, still able to see the marks on her body. Although she had covered them, they still showed through. Then I greeted Jake. In an instant, everyone swarmed over. They started egging us on. Emily, forgive Jake quickly. I heard about what happened between you two. Couples fight and make up. Don't drag it out. Emily was so shocked she couldn't speak. Seeing Emily's continued silence, the crowd grew anxious. I calmly continued. Emily, be with me. Let's go hand in hand towards a happy life. My words were measured and sincere. Emily was moved to tears. This time there might be some real feeling. Having just suffered heartbreak outside, and now with me this sucker sending love and warmth. How could she not cry? If it were me, I'd cry even harder than her. She was about to speak. I stepped to the side and took the initiative. Emily, I made a video documenting our love story. Take a look. I didn't miss the surprise that flashed in Emily's eyes. At this moment, the big screen lit up. In my heart, I just had one thought. Please watch the VCR. Emily's parents were excited, praising me to the heavens. I had Jake put in so much effort. I didn't respond. Laugh while you can. You'll be crying soon enough. Of course, as the screen image grew clearer, even the volume was at maximum. She seduced me. Sarah, don't go. Scumbag couple, looking all proper but actually cheating. Chad, you're lying. You hypocritical bastard. Everyone present saw clearly. Emily's body shook. In an instant, her face turned pale. She glared at me, her expression complex. There was disappointment, belated realization, and most of all, hatred. My face was expressionless. Someone like Emily wouldn't regret it even if she died. Emily's parents quickly calmed down, immediately shouting, "What is this? Jake, are you framing our Emily?" Just as the words fell, the video showed Emily disheveled and intimately entangled with a man. The evidence was conclusive. The accusations died on Emily's parents' lips. For a moment, there was dead silence. Then the voices from inside transmitted again. Emily Carter, I have nothing to do with you. If you keep slandering me, I'll have you thrown in jail. Chad, if you have the guts, want to bet I'll kill you first. Yo, little law-abiding citizen. Emily's whole body went cold, her blood freezing. The remaining people felt too embarrassed and found excuses to leave one after another. My gas tank exploded at home. I need to go check. I dreamed last night my great-grandma missed me, so I'll head out first. When the wall falls, everyone pushes. At this point, only Emily's parents remained. I cut to the chase and interrogated her directly. Emily Carter, I remember you said he was your brother? Don't tell me the pregnancy is his too. Finally, the hatred accumulated over 2 lifetimes could be fully vented. I stepped forward, grabbed her shoulders, and revealed a fierce expression. Emily didn't dare speak, but her trembling actions had already betrayed her. What? Not talking? Should I go investigate? I roared loudly. Her parents saw Emily playing dead and reached out to pull her. Emily, how could you do such a shameless thing? After speaking, her mom still tried to pacify me. Jake, forgive Emily. I'll definitely teach her a good lesson when we get back. What dream are you having, old lady? Ever since Emily did those stupid things, everything was over. Emily was silent for a long time. I don't know what she was thinking. She suddenly exploded. Enough! Her parents were startled. Her dad was quite quick-witted. You little brat. Who are you talking to? Emily cut off his words. You two go back first, otherwise you won't get a penny in the future. Don't forget what you promised me. I had a bad feeling, especially after Emily's parents really left. That feeling grew stronger. Emily, are you going all out? Since that's the case, I'll lay my cards on the table too. Get ready for a team kill. I dragged out Jake, who was trying to escape. Jake awkwardly stretched his lips in a smile, greeting Emily. Hi, how are you? I rolled my eyes. Was he hoping Emily would kiss him? Emily's eyes were gloomy as she flashed her signature smile. Flashback to the second life? You've been reborn? With memories of your past life. Jake's pupils dilated as he pointed at Emily. You. Don't get excited. Being discovered was inevitable. I didn't deny it, but instead asked a question. Emily Carter, why must you run away from the wedding and kill us? Emily's gaze was contemptuous, her tone cold. Because I'm the true love interest in this world. You're the villain. Of course I run away at your wedding to boost the protagonist's favor. And gain your favor too, to make monster killing easier later. I stroked my chin, pondering. I'm the villain? Don't tell me the protagonist is actually Chad. Jake was shocked. Him? The protagonist? I couldn't even be the mistress and become the protagonist. How is he the protagonist as the side piece? He's dumb as a box of rocks. I glanced at Jake. The two of them were equally bad. Neither should laugh at the other. Jake's focus was odd. He pressed further. If he's the villain, what am I? Emily looked down on Jake, even more, also hating that her hand slipped and added goodwill to the wrong person. You're his lackey. I threw my head back in laughter. I really couldn't hold it in anymore. Jake! Yuck! Seeing the situation, Emily simply laid it all out for us. At this point, what's the use in telling you? Don't worry, I'll kill you both. Then start over in another life. Her tone was certain, as if she'd made up her mind. Speaking of this, Jake finally got serious. I walked up to Emily and continued to break down her last psychological defenses. You mean to say you have a system, right? Emily's body instantly went limp, confusion in her heart. Taking advantage of this moment, I called out. Sarah. Sarah walked out from behind, quickly knocking Emily unconscious. Emily probably didn't know that Sarah was actually working with us. After she went back, she discovered her company had indeed been tampered with. But Chad absolutely couldn't have done it to that extent. Upon investigation, she found it was inseparable from Emily. So, she found us to discuss the situation. For the sake of our lives and fortunes, for the sake of our entire clans, we sent Emily to a mental hospital. We can't let her die, but we also can't let her out. This place is the most suitable. When Emily opened her eyes and woke up, seeing us few people, she was completely dumbfounded. I smiled at her. Miss Carter, we've been waiting a while. Jake, does it feel good? Does it? Sarah crossed her arms, feeling our mental states were a bit exquisite. Emily looked around, guessing what had happened, and tried to threaten us. Let me go. You dare lay hands on me. Who do you think you are? My fists clenched tightly, making cracking sounds. I was truly angry. Sarah stepped forward and slapped her across the face. You don't really think you're some destined heroine, do you? So what if you're an NPC? Didn't you step on other NPCs to get ahead? Evidently, she had heard Emily's words earlier. Emily didn't feel any shame and retorted, I have a system and destiny on my side. That already makes me much stronger than you. You deserve to die. I started sharpening my knife, but we couldn't let Emily die. So we exchanged glances. Mental hospitals always have ways of treating patients. Emily wouldn't be getting out anyway. As for her parents, once they realized she was useless, they took the money and ran. The few of us also got together often because of this incident. Another month and a half passed. I heard Chad was kicked out of the Winchester family and became a social pariah. Before, due to his status, no one dared offend him despite his dirty deeds. Since his complete downfall, Chad has even been implicated in several cases. What a law-abiding citizen. This guy could be the male lead? I scoffed. Emily's fate goes without saying. She was sent to a mental hospital and after staying there a while, truly went insane. Later, Sarah called me to reveal that Emily had committed suicide. She was doing fine in there at first, eating and sleeping on schedule. But one day, she suddenly went crazy, shouting about not abandoning her. She also said she didn't want to die. Not long after, she kicked the bucket. I was unmoved. Those who do evil will be punished. Perhaps even the system felt she was too stupid to work with. The journey is long and arduous. I shall search high and low. My own path has only truly begun.